אתכם לסער. אנשים למות יותר מהר. סיגויים במסגרת
Well, here's what we laid out. Here's where we're at in America right now. 1 in 6 children now has a developmental disability. This is not, I don't recognize this as being the way we lived as kids. So ADD, ADHD, autism skyrocketing. Our special needs classes are exploding in schools. Next. 54% of American children now have a chronic illness, either a developmental disability or autoimmune disease. People ask me, why are you involved in this? I would say I wouldn't be here if we had the healthiest children in the world, if we had the healthiest generation of children we've ever seen. The exact opposite is true. We have more babies dying on the first day of life in America than every other industrialized nation combined. Fact. You're 70% more likely to die before 18 in America than all the other richest nations in the world. Something's really going wrong here. And as a journalist, I feel like I'm responsible to look at it. Let's look at what we think may be happening. If you look at the vaccine schedule, in 1986, we got 11 vaccines. So every parent says, well, I got my vaccines, I'm sticking with the program. You had a totally different program than your children are getting, because now in 2017, we're giving 53 vaccines, 72 doses, compared to the 11 we got before 1986. And if you look at the crisis of childhood illness, chronic illness, in that exact same time period, we've gone from 12.8% back in the 1980s to now 54% have a chronic illness. These are coterminous. They're moving exactly with each other. Yes, it may be anecdotal, but it's what we call a signal. And are we looking into it?
I want you to look at this right here. I mean, this is coterminous, right? Now, I get it. It's anecdotal. Sure, it's anecdotal. But seriously, what you are looking at right here is the greatest decline in public health in human history. Period. Full stop. And so I have to read headlines like this all the time. U.S. has first-day infant mortality, has highest rate of first-day infant mortality out of the industrialized world. In fact, this is the actual number. We have more babies die in America on the first day of life than every other industrialized nation combined. Combined. We have more babies dying in the first year of life than the 20 other richest nations in the world. We're now reporting that you're 70% more likely to die before reaching the age of 18 than if you'd been raised in the 20 other richest nations in the world. Still want to follow us? Still want to trust us?
But let's get back to our focus on the current CDC vaccine schedule, which is one of the things that almost every doctor is taught while in medical school. When I was a baby in 1968, I think I got about 3 or 4 vaccines in total, and I was considered to be fully vaccinated. But in order to be fully vaccinated today, it's much different.
What we have now is 69 doses of 16 vaccines that the federal government is saying all the children should use from day of birth to age 18. Back when my children were receiving vaccines in the late 70s and 80s, it was 23 doses of 7 vaccines. So we've had a tripling of the numbers of doses of vaccines that children are now getting. And in that time period, as this dramatic escalation of the child vaccination schedule has occurred, what have we seen? Have we seen children be healthier? Just the opposite. We have an epidemic of chronic disease and disability. 1 child in 6 in America now learning disabled. 1 in 9 with asthma. 1 in 50 with autism. 1 in 400 developing diabetes. Millions more with inflammatory bowel disorders, rheumatoid arthritis, epilepsy. Epilepsy is on the rise. We have children who, 30% now of young adults have been diagnosed as having a mental illness, anxiety disorder, bipolar, schizophrenia. This is the worst public health report card in the history of this country. And it has coincided perfectly with the tripling of the numbers of vaccines.